The second thing I want to mention about soul ties is the importance of your soul to God. Many people believe that only our spirits are important to God, and our bodies will be important to God when we die and get raised from the dead. Your soul has a value to God. In fact, God has a desire for your soul. In Matthew 22, verse 37, it says, Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and with all your mind." Somebody dropped it in the chat, with all your soul. That means that if you have developed unhealthy soul ties, God says, I want you to bring your whole soul, all of your soul. I want you to bring that to a loving, affectionate, passionate, zealous relationship with me. See, some of us have left fragments of our soul with our boyfriends, with our exes. Some of us have left it with our parents. Some of us have left it with our siblings, with our bosses, and with our besties. And God says, I want you to bring all of your soul to me. I want you to love me with all of that soul. That doesn't mean that you cannot love another person with your soul, but it's important that God gets all of my soul. And out of that place, I love others also with my soul. But if God does not get that soul first, and I distribute that soul to everybody else, and I give God only 10% of my soul because now my wife has it, now my boss has it, now my best friend has it, now my ex-girlfriend has it, the other ex-girlfriend in college has a little piece, the one in high school has a little piece, the one in middle school has a little piece, the one in elementary school has a little piece. All of these people have pieces. Then I am coming to God without my soul. I've given it away. You need to take all of your soul back and love God with all of it. And out of a place of loving God with your soul, you love other people. Now you may say, Vlad, yeah, my soul is kind of gone. It's in so many places. Did you know that God can restore your soul? Psalm 23 verse 3 says that. He restores my soul. God wants to restore your soul back to you. Maybe your soul is fragmented. Psalm 7:2, it says, "Lest he tear my soul like a lion, rendering it in pieces, while there is none to deliver." See, the devil wants to tear your soul to pieces. That's why he wants you to be engaged in immoral relationships. He wants you to get obsessive, attractive attachments with people so that you leave parts of your soul there. He wants to tear your soul like a lion, joint out of a joint, and just break it apart, just to pieces, rendering it to pieces. Psalm 7:2 says, while there's no one to deliver. He pretty much wants to take your soul to break your soul to pieces. The devil cannot take your spirit, but he can shatter your soul. And that's why Christians who continually, deliberately, consciously, constantly sin in relationships that have become sexual, they leave parts of their soul in so many places being scattered. And a lot of times then they enter into their future so broken, and they need to be healed. And it's not that God cannot forgive you for your sexual sin, or somehow sexual sin is worse than any other sin, but sexual sins are the hardest to be healed from. They're the easiest to be forgiven of. They're the most difficult to recover from. The restoration process takes time, and it could be painful. So, what we've established is you can have good soul ties, but these soul ties, they come out of a place of you loving Jesus with all your heart and your soul. We've established that soul ties can be bad, in the sense like parents can have their life bound up in their children. a spouse can be so bound to their spouse that when their spouse dies or spouse leaves them, that's it. They don't see life beyond that. People can have their life so knit together with their spiritual leader that if they move to another city or if they leave that church, they can't function spiritually. Sometimes people can develop such a deep soul tie, especially with people that they've had sinful, physical, sexual relationship with, and they will need to be broken. We've mentioned that soul is important to God. It's important to the devil. He wants to rip your soul to pieces, like Psalm 7:2 says. He wants to render it to pieces. So again, guys, the idea of soul ties is not New Age idea. It's not new idea. It's in the scriptures. It's in the Bible. And just because people in the New Age or people in self-help world use that, it does not mean that they created this concept or that somehow it's anti-biblical any more than just because people who practice yoga meditate does not mean that Christians should not meditate. We don't meditate like they do, but we meditate. Just because Muslims pray, it doesn't mean Christians don't pray. So soul ties are real. And most importantly, you can be free from them.